YouTube? It's your boy Steph, man. Got a different style of posting for today. So I don't know if you hip to WNBA or none of that shit. I just did my 2 cents on that, so go check that out if y'all want to. But right now we finna do a documentary on TT from CGE, the drill rapper who attempted murder, went on the run, and blah 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 blah, and all that other shit. All right, so we know the story about TT, so I'm finna tap in, man. Just some different content, bringing y'all some different content, taking a break off the music and stuff. I do got pay requests. I got 2 right now, but I'm probably gonna do most likely those tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna lock in. Be sure to tap them links down below, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. All right, without further ado, man, let's get it.
He or Twin Trigger is one of the most unhinged individuals.
Oh yeah, my fault. Shout out to Graham Diaries. This is his video.
In the UK drill scene, as he gets slapped with 36 years behind bars, whilst also serving a sentence for attempted murder and being a suspect in another attempted murder with a shotgun.
So he didn't get. He didn't get bag for M. He got a bag for AM, 2 AMs. That's what he got bag for. What? That's not right.
Where you from? What's in your waist? What's in your waist?
What's your name?
Why you kicking
Nah, this
yourself,
guy's
brother?
not involved.
Why did you just piss yourself?
He said, nah, this guy's not involved. Oh, nah. Was that TT?
Before we get
I
into
ain't
the
never seen
video,
that video.
I just want to say that this video is not to glorify crime in any sort of way, but to provide information on individuals that are part of the UK drill scene. Everything stated in this video is already public information and can be found on forums that TT was part of. CGE stands for Chad Green Estate in the Newham area of East London.
Chad Green, yep.
CGE is affiliated with other gangs around the area, such as 15th and Manor Park, but one of the most popular affiliation is with the 7th gang, who are all part of the north side of Newham. CGE will beef the south side of Newham, consisting of gangs like 6th, Custom House and Canning Town.
Yep.
The beef between the north side and south side of Newham is actually quite intense and has led to a lot of murders over the years. The two sides were actually cool with each other at one point, but this all changed after the death of a CGE member called Captain.
Yeah,
24th of January 2009, a CGE member called Captain, aka Stephen Lewis, was walking on Whitwell Road after attending a charity event to stop youth violence, which is when a couple guys from Custom House spot him and an argument breaks out. I've covered this case before and it's not quite known what the argument was actually about, but it ended with Captain being stabbed multiple times whilst he died in his 16-year-old sister's arms. The sad reality of seeing your younger brother die in your arms is a different level of pain, and that's why I always emphasize in my videos that the gang life is truly stupid.
It is, bro.
But after this case, a Custom House member called Major was apparently snitched on and got slapped with 17 years for the murder of Captain. The case of Stephen Lewis is actually hella sad because he was on the path to leaving the road life and was an advocate to stop youth violence, but his life was taken at just the age of 15. The death of Captain caused a divide in Newham that we hear about today. TT, which stands for Twin Trigger, would also go by different names such as ×2, Young Screw, or some people say TT stands for 2 Tapped, which is quite fitting once you hear about the things this guy has done.
Nah, there's something wrong with TT.
You see, TT really lives by the name Twin Trigger, because where people in the scene will go out stabbing people, TT will be known for shooting his ops. It's said that from a young age, Awad Salah, aka TT, was a nuisance and will be in and out of the young offenders prison. TT knew older gang members at a young age, and once you surround yourself in that sort of environment, eventually you're going to become part of the gang. It's like the saying goes, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. TT will become one of the most feared gang members in the area because he was going to shoot a lot of his rivals and become well known in the scene. He would allegedly shoot a popular ACG member called Young Diz in the stomach, leaving him seriously injured. He would state in a prison freestyle that on the day he didn't even see Young Diz and was simply just letting off shots. He would also continue to mock Young Diz and bring up his mum, who, if you didn't know already, sadly passed away.
I didn't know that Young Diz mom passed away. What the fuck? I did not know that. So that's why Young Diz be saying that about day mom.
I didn't even see Young Diz. I just heard those popping. I didn't even know that I was bandit. A group of 5 aimed and shot in.
TT was seriously unhinged as he was going to allegedly shoot 2 sick gang members on the same day, with another stabbing of a rival in front of his mum. Again, these are alleged and hold no valid proof, but is well-known information in the actual scene. Whilst all this is happening, TT will build his name in the music scene, as he will go on to drop the tune Trips with other CGE members S13 and Mobs, which done quite well at the time. TT will continue dropping music around the 2019 to 2020 period, but gone to commit a chain of violence that led to him sitting behind bars. On February 27, 2021, a Custom House member called Filthy will enter a shop in Canning Town. Around 3:30 PM, TT and another CGE member, R3, will pull up in a Range Rover outside the shop after spotting Filthy from afar. The two CGE members will enter the shop and push the shopkeeper out of the way in order to get access to the back room where Filthy was speaking to the shop owner. TT and R3 will start stabbing Filthy multiple times until he ran to the storeroom toilet and locked himself in. TT would attempt to break the toilet door, but to no avail, which is when the pair would run out the shop and speed off in the Range Rover. Police and ambulance was called to the scene, and Filthy luckily survived the attack. It's quite evident that TT and R3 on that day were looking to murder Filthy, but the only reason he survived was because he was able to escape and lock
run into that damn stall. Oh my gosh, boy, they was running him down. See, that's what I'm saying. Man, look, bruh, I'm telling you, bro, it is getting wickedly crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, running down, like, you not even paying attention. You talking to the store clerk, and these niggas just run you down. Like, ooh, I'm glad he got out of there, boy.
In the toilet.
Jesus.
Following this, the police would gather information, but Filthy wouldn't give the names of the people involved. Using CCTV footage and statements, the police were able to get the names Awad Salah and Rama Williams, aka TT and R3. TT, now knowing he was being investigated for the attempted murder, would allegedly go on the run in an attempt to avoid arrest. TT, whilst avoiding arrest, was hungry for a body, because on the 26th of April 2021, at around 2:40 PM, a Land Rover will pull close to a Custom House member called Young Grinner, aka Junior Jar.
So he did get the,
Grinner would walk towards the car, and in a matter of seconds, he was shot in the chest. The driver of the Land Rover, who was identified as TT, would hop out the car and walk towards Grinner, who was already on the floor bleeding. He then proceeds to stab him twice in the chest with a large knife before hopping back in the car and driving off. Police and ambulance were later called to the scene, but despite their best effort to save Junior's life, he later passed away at just the age of 18, literally 4 years after the unsolved murder of his older brother, Ahmed Jar. An investigation will now be launched on the murder of Young Grinner, aka Junior Jar. TT and R3 will now be caught and arrested for the attempted murder of Filthy, the gang member who they attacked inside the store. Both suspects denied it.
So Young Grinner unsolved? So TT went to jail. So TT went to jail for AM? I did not know that. Is that true?
Involvement in the attack, but were convicted on all charges by a jury on the 22nd of October 2021. TT was convicted of attempted murder, possession of both an offensive weapon and a knife, and possession of a Class B drug. And R3 was convicted of attempted murder, possession of an offensive weapon in a public place, and possession of a Class B drug. It's rumoured that TT was seen smiling and grinning whilst his charges were being read out. He would then be sentenced after all jurors found him guilty. On March 7, 2022...
See, like, smiling and all that grinning shit, bruh. Like, look, I know you hate your ops, but, bro, it's gotta be some type of dignity or, some type of respect or something, bruh. Like, I know that's your op, but, like, bro, you can at least just keep a straight face, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just cold, bro. Like, that's just too cold-hearted, man. Like,
TT was jailed for 21 years, with 16 years being served in prison,
dang, so he got it,
while R3 was sentenced to 17 years imprisonment, including 12 in prison. Police say the remaining 5 years of each sentence will be served on an extended license. While all this is going on and TT's been sentenced, the police are still investigating the death of Young Grinner. The police later found the Land Rover, which has been set on fire but forensic examination found Grinner's DNA on a door. Further examination found a fingerprint belonging to Rio Burton Devine,
Oh
who's a
yes, yeah,
CGE
So
member
they
called
got
S13.
so
Phone
S13
analysis
got
showed
back for that.
messages between S13 and TT being in contact before the murder of Grinner, stating that they were going to go on a ride out. TT,
I
who
got that, bro. Why did y'all? Y'all gotta stop texting, bro. Y'all gotta start doing shit in person, man. Like for real. That's just not smart, bro. It's just
was
not
now sitting in
smart.
jail for the attempted murder of Filthy, was now also found as a suspect in the murder of young Grinner.
Yeah, so he might even
TT
get
and
more.
S13 would deny involvement, despite analysis placing both of them in the Land Rover that was part of Grinner's murder. The investigation into Grinner's murder was a very long one, but the police kept on searching and gathering evidence. And on the 9th of May 2024, Rio Burton Devine, aka S13, was sentenced to life with a minimum of 31 years in prison.
Damn.
Awad Salah,
Damn.
aka TT, was sentenced to life with a minimum of 36 years for the murder of young Grinner. The craziest thing about all this is 4 days before the murder of Grinner, TT had allegedly tried to shoot another op with a shotgun after hopping out of a stolen car.
Hey, TT, bro. Jesus Christ. Hey, bro, there's something wrong with this nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's safe to say that TT is not seeing the outside world anytime soon,
Hell
as
nah.
he's only 25 years old, but with the years he's been given, he'll be around 70 years old before he can even think about coming out of prison. And it's probably for the best that he remains behind bars. TT has some serious mental health issues, because whilst in court, he would appear unbothered by everything going on and would even be interrupting the judge at times to make jokes. There's a chance that TT would actually spend his whole life locked up, because it's also alleged that he was involved in the murder of a rival gang member called Yellow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's something wrong with TT, bro. There's something wrong with this nigga, bro. Fuck no. He not getting out until he like 70. Like, Lord, geez. Hey, any man, look, bro. Take an example. Stop doing this shit, bro. Dead ass, bro. Like, this nigga TT was... Y'all heard what he was saying, man. Man, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tap them links down below. Until next time, it's your boy.